Now that you've got your machine on the cart, let's look at attaching the user interface and the X-beam end caps to kind of finish up getting this set up and then ready for connections. So you'll want to find the box that has the user interface in it and the end caps. And if I look at this real quick, I'm just going to open this up. We have just a cover of foam, and then in here is a bag with 2 screws and 2 lock washers. Don't lose those. And then your user interface with a tag stuck to it. You want to remember what that is. And then inside of here, you'll also find these 2 kind of half moons. These are your X-beam end caps. So let's go ahead and put those on right now. I'm going to set this aside real quick, and we'll go back. And these just slide into place on the ends of the X-beam. There we go. There's one. Let me walk to the other side and do that again. All right, there's the other. So now we are ready to install your user interface with the screws and lock washers, and you'll need your Allen wrenches out of your operator's kit. And the one that you'll need is the 4mm. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out now so that I'm ready to go. All right, and where I'm looking is where this cable is, and then right around here are 2 screws that go, or 2 screw holes that go straight up in. So I'm going to carefully, so as to not spill the screws and lock washers all over the floor, empty them out in my hand. And I'm going to set them up, screw with the lock washer on it, screw with the lock washer on it so that I'm ready to go. Take the user interface, it's going to be facing up, and get the cable kind of out of your way a little bit. Got my screw, I'm going to line it up. And I'm not going to completely tighten this, I'm just going to do one and then the other, and then I'll go ahead and tighten them down. All right, so here goes the other one. All right, so now that I've got them both, I'm going to go ahead and tighten those down. Now, if you need some pictures for how to do this, you can look in that stop dock. There is an installation guide for these pieces. Shows you right where to route the cable and all of that. All right, so now I'm going to take the protective bag off the end of this cable. It's just got a twist tie, and route this around and plug it in. There we go. So that's all set. And then lastly, I want you to look at this tag. So it says, important, make sure that the emergency stop is disengaged prior to turning the power on. So this is the E-stop, the emergency stop. It kills the power to the motors. If it is engaged, so it's pressed in, it's shipped that way, I believe, and if you turn it in the direction of the arrows, it will release and come out. If this is engaged and you try to turn the power on, I mean, obviously right now I'm not plugged in, so nothing would happen, but if it was plugged in, you try to power it on, and this is still engaged, it won't power up completely. It kills the power to the motors so that it can't home, and so it doesn't know if it's safe to come on completely or not. So it will wait and not completely power up. So if you are trying to start your machine and it's not powering up the way that you think it should, check your E-stop, see if it's engaged. I have a really bad habit of leaning on it when I go to turn something on or getting around, and I may hit it. So you'll want to make sure before powering up completely that it's disengaged, turn it in the direction of the arrows, and you'll be better off. But now we have the user interface installed, we have the X-beam end caps installed, and you're ready to continue setup by connecting the machine and threading up.